definitely top 3. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome to the underground laboratory where we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And today we are continuing on with our series of drawing Stranger Things. Just taking some time to do some fan art here and there of one of my favorite entertainment properties, Stranger Things. If you haven't seen it, season 1 and 2, I definitely suggest that you go do that right away. But I won't get too heavy into any spoilers, maybe some light spoilers. But yeah, so last episode I drew Will Byers. That was the first one. I'm going to do another one today. If you're reading the description, you know that it's going to be Dustin. So I asked you guys what you thought, if you wanted me to continue on with this series, and I did get some comments. It seems like people like it. I got a lot of comments, but not so many views as much as views. I mean, this is a small channel, but it's weird because a lot of people will tell you, oh, you gotta do fan art, and and that's going to help get a lot more views and things like that. I haven't found that really to be the case. My fan art, like when I do Fan Art Fridays or when I do certain videos I do, they don't get as much views as some of my other videos where I'm giving tips and things like that. And that's cool because I think that's good to know that people come here maybe for me and not just because some movie or television series they like. But regardless, I think I'm going to continue on with this series because I enjoy doing them and I'm having fun with them. So, and we'll get back to all the trips and the art hacks and all that kind of stuff afterwards. But for now, we're going to start into Dustin, doing a little differently this time. Last time I did the whole thing digitally. The finished product will look the same, but I did the sketch traditionally just because I had my sketchbook. I was out and about, so I decided to do some sketching. So I did this sketch of Dustin here. Let's see if we can focus in on that. It's a little light, I know. But anyway, so that's Dustin. We're going to finish him up. We're going to scan this into the old computer and finish him up digitally. So let's get to that. All right, let's dive back into the world of Hawkins, Indiana, and do another Stranger Things fan art sketch. This time it's Dustin, and kind of using the same technique I did before. I want to keep these all in that same style. So I'm outlining the character right here. Of course, what I have already done the sketch by hand, scanned it in, and like I said before on the other video, if you saw, I kind of like to go over with a basic, just a solid background, or not background, but line art around the character, and then I'll go in and I'll add the inside on another layer with some different line weights and everything, and get sort of I don't know, it's just that's the look I'm going for. So gotta kind of test some of these lines out and try to get this to look right. I'm using Adobe Illustrator. I'm using the blob tool, which I just started using, and I got somebody comment and said that you can also do this within Manga Studio, which I also have, and I've got to get into that. It's just a little more of learning the interface and everything. But yeah, so Manga Studio is a lot cheaper, so you can do this technique in Manga Studio. I think usually sometimes you can find it for like $50. It's a great program. I just need to get a little more fluent in that. So, but I use Illustrator every single day at work and a lot of my own stuff too as well. So that's what I'm using. But the blob tool is, I think it's new to the CC. I just upgraded. I was using Adobe Illustrator 5 for a long time and just upgraded, so now I can take advantage of some of these other tools that weren't available to me before. But so yeah, as I'm talking about this illustration and Dustin and everything, I wanted to just talk about that intro I did, and I just want to let everyone know that Three Musketeers is not exactly my top 3. But I figured we could talk about candy and figure out what our top 3 is. But in that intro, and it's funny because I can't even remember the last time I ate a Three Musketeers bar. It's so weird that I didn't even know what the packaging looked like nowadays. I have what you saw in Stranger Things, that packaging. That's in my head what a Three Musketeers bar is, even though it's always on the shelf anytime you go to the store or whatever. But it just didn't register with me. If somebody said, "Here, draw a picture with the Three Musketeers packaging looks like," I would still draw the little Three Musketeers with their hats and everything, or something similar to that. But that hasn't been on the package for a long time. So, of course, a little movie magic, we were able to recreate that for this video in the front. But anyway, so I haven't had Three Musketeers in so long, and I was like, I don't really think I like nougat all that much, and that's pretty much what Three Musketeers is. So I was pretty much expecting to take a bite of it and like, gross, and like kind of choke it down and then, wash it down and then give the rest to my kids or something. But actually it wasn't that bad. I was surprised. Maybe I like nougat a little more than I thought. But I always have this, I never understand the name, why Three Musketeers is named Three Musketeers. And here's the reason why. So you've kind of got, I think it's M&M Mars, that I could be wrong. I forgot who puts out Three Musketeers and Snickers and Milky Ways. But anyway, so you've got the three kind of flagship candy bars. You've got the Snickers, which is that's the big one, but that's got it's got peanuts, it's got caramel, it's got chocolate and nougat. Those are the four like main ingredients, all right? So then you go down to the Milky Way. Now the Milky Way is pretty much a Snickers bar without peanuts. So you've got chocolate, caramel, and nougat, all right? So you've got three main ingredients. So why isn't the Milky Way, why didn't they name that the Three Musketeers? Because you go the next tier down, which is the Three Musketeers, and there's only two main ingredients. I mean, it's got all kinds of stuff in it. I don't want to rattle off because it probably sounds real gross, but so you got the Three Musketeers, and it's got chocolate and nougat. So I would think that the three in Three Musketeers would have something to do with like the three ingredients, but maybe not. Maybe they just wanted to name it after the book. I don't know. But that always kind of baffled me why that naming is. And I don't know, I don't know what candy bar came out first. And I'm sure there's a logical explanation to it, and I'm sure I can Google it if I really wanted to find out. But that's kind of what's always been in my head. So, I don't know. But, that's kind of always, it is something I should probably Google, because I've always kind of wanted to know that. But anyway, and like I said, I don't know which one came out first or whatever, or if they all came out at the same time or whatever, but man, I should look that up. But anyway, talking about candy bars, because if you watch Stranger Things, you'll know that the kids kind of rank their, I don't know if they get too in depth, but they kind of rank what their favorite candy bars is. And Dustin says that the Three Musketeers is in his top three. Specifically because he likes the nougat, I guess. So I started to think, and I don't eat a lot of candy bars. Every once in a while I'll have one, but it seems like my favorite candy bars are always the ones that they come out for like a certain set of time and then they just disappear off the market. Like recently, there's one that I really liked. It was almost like the Reese's peanut butter cups, which I like, but it was the Butterfinger version. So I think it was kind of, because I like Butterfingers, but it's just too much. I like it when you throw it, crunch it up in ice cream or something like that or whatever. A lot of those candy bars taste a lot better when you crunch them up in ice cream, rather than, in my opinion anyway. But it's the Butterfinger cups. Those are really good, and I don't know if are those still around? The other one I really like was the Reese's, was it called Nutrific or Nutrageous? I think Nutrific was an SNL skit way back in the days, but I think it was Nutrageous. I don't remember. But anyway, I don't think they make that one anymore. That one was really good. I kind of like Heath bars. Those are good. That's totally different taste, but maybe like whatchamacallits. I like the ones that have all kinds of crazy stuff. The Take Fives are also good, the ones with the pretzels, because I like salty stuff. But I don't know. So if I had to rank, I'd probably say, I don't know, nowadays if I had to rank, I'd probably say Take Five, then that Nutrageous, assuming that you could still find them, and then maybe those Butterfinger peanut butter cups. But I don't know, what do you guys think? What are your favorite top three candy bars? Let me know in the comments section. But anyway, so back to the illustration. I've gone and flatted everything, and now I'm going in and adding some highlights and some shadows to kind of, sometimes that flat look looks good. You see a lot in some older animation, but I always like this. It's kind of like a cell shading technique that I do. But basically I create like a middle ground for everything. That's my flat, and then I'll go a little darker for the shadows, and then a little brighter for the highlights, and that's pretty much how I do this technique. But as far as the character of Dustin, man, I loved him. I loved him in this season. They say they don't want to call it a season; they want to call it a sequel. But anyway, in Stranger Things 2, just as much as like the first one, he was great, and of course he's got a little pet. I won't go too much into spoilers on that, but his pet's name's Dart, and it's just very reminiscent of Gremlins. So love that, and yeah, just that whole interaction and also, you know, these characters are so great because the character you kind of you gravitate. I mean, at least me. There's certain characteristics of each of these characters that you kind of like. And then sometimes in the second one, I mean, as it goes on or whatever, and their not personalities, but they have character arcs and they kind of change and everything. And some characters that I wasn't real fond of, I end up being like, they're awesome. And as time goes on, and some people in the, you know, last season, they were, you know, really super jealous or something, or just I wasn't on board with them, and then now I'm all excited, or vice versa. And they just do a really good job of kind of rotating the characters and you know, kind of, because they all have their little quarrels and things like that. And different, you know, characters are sort of at odds with other characters, not big time, but, you know, kid stuff, little arguments here and there, and it's just really good the way they did it. In this one, there was, you know, Dustin and Lucas, they were kind of competing over a girl, which of course Max, if you watch the show, and I'll hopefully get around to doing Max, because I haven't done a fan art version of her yet, but anyway, so yeah, I really dig what they're doing with the characters, because it's different. You kind of you gravitate towards characters, and then all of a sudden one character might be your favorite, and then next not so much, and there's another one that's your favorite you didn't even think they could be. So anyway, so finishing up the illustration, I'm doing my my color, what do you call it, it's the terminology is escaping me, color holds, where I'm coloring the outlines, and then I will go and throw in my little white background or white outline in the shadow, and that's Dustin. Okay, there's Dustin, and so now we've got 2 down. There's a bunch of characters I still want to get to, some new characters I also want to do that I haven't done before. I did a few before. This is my Dustin before, when I was doing the marker renderings, and yeah, I've done quite a few. I mean, I love Stranger Things. I also love Star Wars. That's coming up too, so I don't know. We have Star Wars in our future, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But one thing I did want to mention before I go is my comic book. If you're into Stranger Things, you might also be into my comic book, Young and the Dead. It's a kids versus zombie story. Also takes place in the 80s with kids and everything, fighting zombies. Yeah, if you like Stranger Things, you probably will dig this too. This is issue 3, the current issue. I'm working on issue 4, but issues 1 through 3 are available at my website at serkworks.com, and there's a link in the description. I'll see you guys later. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here in the Art Lab. There's a lot of other great content on the channel, so click that subscribe button and you won't miss a thing. If you're an aspiring evil genius, visit serkworks.com for all your mad science supply needs. And if you want to contact me, hit me up in the comments section or follow me on social media. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.